Good morning and good afternoon. So today we are going to briefly talk about the generic model agent tools that we are going to use today to constructing the model agent. This generic model agent tools is one important feature of the CyberWater. So first of all, the CyberWater is a modeling framework system. So the idea is that you can integrate the different models from the different areas, domains, easily with each other. And so the way to do that is to add your model, whatever your model is, you add your model into the CyberWater system. Okay, so by doing that, you can, first of all, you can get a lot of, just 1 second, let me get my PowerPoint. Let me get my point. Okay, so basically, by adding your model or integrate your model into the CyberWater system, you can first get all the facilities that are provided by CyberWater. And those facilities include data agents and for various data sources. Like currently we have the USGS data agent. We have a bunch of NASA data sources agents. And so that you can access those data sources very easily in an automated way. And you can use the workflow to build your modeling process, which is easier for you, and to try this, to try that. And we also have the high performance computing functionality for you to use, and this will not be covered this time, but will be covered next year. But we have a demo for the high performance computing on Thursday. And the provenance, which is tracing, that you can trace your model configurations and your parameter configurations, so that that will be very important when you try many different combinations to find out which one is the optimal configuration, for example, data visualizations and so on. So when you add your model into the CyberWater, you get all those kind of benefits. But one more important thing is it allows you to do the model integration with any other models are in the CyberWater easily. So basically for free. So you don't need to do any specific thing. And once your model is added into the CyberWater, you can just couple it with any other models in the CyberWater. Just connect them together from one model's output, connect it to another model's input. It is as easy as that. So that's the feature of this CyberWater. So now the question is, how can I integrate my model into the CyberWater? Because now you say there are two ways for you to do it. The first thing, the first approach is that you are going to write a model agent. So model agent is an interface between your model and the CyberWater system. Once you write an interface, and so your model can talk to the CyberWater system, then your model is integrated into the CyberWater system. So that's the idea. So you have to write a model agent as the interface between your model and the CyberWater system. And this needs coding. Okay, model agent, so you need to write an agent. This needs coding. So we use Python to do that. So for example, in your yesterday's experience, you use the wake agent, you use the DHS VM agent. Those are two pre-written agents by our team. And for those two models, one is for wake model, the other one is for the DHS VM model. So those are, we pre-wrote those model agents for you so that you can use wake model and the DHS VM model in the CyberWater environment. This is a framework environment. So this is the first approach. And in how to do that, in our paper, I think Rick also sent that paper to you guys. In that paper, there are some details for you, how to, if you wanted to write the model agent for your model, and there are steps for you to do it, but you need to do some coding in Python. The good, for some other model system, model framework system, you also need to write code to do the model integration. But what's the difference? The difference here is in the CyberWater system, we don't need your model source code. So in order to write a model's agent, we don't need the model's source code. But some other modeling systems, they need the model's source code. They need to make some changes into the model source code itself, which is not convenient. Here, we just don't need the source code. We don't. If you know how to run that model, you can write the model agent for CyberWater system. So that's a good thing. But we have better yet, and we can use the generic model agent tools to construct, to generate the model agent. So this way, you even don't need to write code. So you use some pre-written modules, and we call it the agent tools in the CyberWater, and connect them together, configure them, and then you can configure them based on what the model requires. Then you can generate the model agent without coding. So that is even a better approach to do the model agent. And then once you have a model agent, you can bring your model into the CyberWater. So I'm going to show you how to do that briefly, how to do that with the model agent tools. And so basically in this diagram, this basic diagram, so you are here. Okay, so basically all our tools, we call them generators because when you use them, you generate your model agent. So from that sense, we call them, all the tools are generators. So first, the user needed to create those generators. So those building blocks for your agent. And then you configure, only you need to do is configure those building blocks based on the specific model that you are going to integrate. And the different models, of course, you configure those building blocks in a different way. And then after that, you execute this generated model agent. You execute your configured model agent. then this model agent will request data from the MSM. We say the MSM is a core part of the CyberWater, right? So your data may come from the data agent, may from USGS, may from NASA data agents. Those data are kept in the MSM. So you request the data, your data agent requests the data from the MSM, and the MSM send the data to your model agent, and this model agent use this data, feed into the model, and run the model. So model actually is running here, and once the model is finished, model running is finished, the output data will be sent back to the MSM so that the workflow can continue to the next step. Here I wanted to briefly introduce the major model agent tools, major building blocks. I listed 5 here. So the first one is the main generator. So that's the entry point. That's the main control component, the building block for the model agent. So what it does, it will set up the working folder for your model simulation. So and set up the global parameter file. You know, many models have global parameter files, which has all kinds of the configuration parameters that a model needed to initialize, needed to be configured. Okay, and then we identify all the forcing data that the model needs. So, and we collect them at this entry point. So that's the main generator building block does. And then as you run a model, you know you need the forcing data, and so you need the parameters, some parameters, for example, like the soil parameter files, vegetation parameter files, those things that sort of static, right? And so you may have it in your file, so you need to set up the path for those files so that the model agent knows where to read them, right? And so that's the arrow-wise parameter generator. Basically, set up the parameter files for the model agent to read. And for the forcing data, and the forcing data, we retrieve them from the data sources, but you need to give this data to the model, because the data is in the MSM. So you need to set up how to transfer those data to the model from the MSM. So that's your forcing data file generator's job. And some models need the initial states. Some models may not need it, so you don't need to do it. But if your model needs the initial state, and your initial states, you have the initial state in some file, you need to set up that file path so that the model agent know where to find it. And finally, that's the initial state file generator. That's building blocks. If you don't use the initial state, let's say your initial state is all 0, then you don't need to use it. The run model agent is finally set up your executable file path. So your model is an executable file. So where that executable file is, so the CyberWater needed to locate it, and so that it can run it. So that's why the path is set up at the run model agent and also set up other arguments that when you run your models and so on. So you say those are the aspects you need to configure for building your model agent. So after you finish those configuration steps using our building blocks, then it will form the generated model agent. Okay, generated the model agent. So in today's practice, you are going to experience using the generic model agent tools for yourself. You are going to do this for yourself. So in today's study, you are going to use these tools to build the model agent for Wake model version 5. And what you use the Wake model yesterday, that was a Wake model version 4. So we have the version 4, pre-written model agent. But today we are using the model Wake model version 5. And so since the two versions are different, so we are going to generate a new model agent. So you are going to go through those steps, how to use the model agent tools to generate the model agent for Wake 5, step by step. After that, the model agent is constructed or generated, the Wake 5 is integrated into the CyberWater. And once it is integrated into the CyberWater, it can use any facilities that the CyberWater provides. So it can can retrieve all the data from the data agents, and you can run it in CyberWater framework. You can display the results, do the data visualization, and so on. Okay, so that is the first task that you are going to do today. And secondly, you are going to repeat the similar steps to generate a routing model agent. Okay, so the Wake model can be run alone by itself. It can also be simulated in couple with the routing model. So that is a model integration, right? Model coupling. So we wanted to show you how to do model coupling in CyberWater. So you need to generate another model's agent, which is routing model agent. By using these tools, you basically go through the similar steps as you do for the Wake 5. And then you are going to integrate those two models, Wake 5 and the routing models, into in the CyberWater. And you will see how easy that is. Basically, you just connect the outputs of the Wake 5 agent to the inputs of the routing model agent. That's it. And so that's the integration. Then finally, in today's study, you are going to compare your integrated model results with the USGS observations. And so that will be the work that you are going to do today, the practice you are going to do today, and to familiar with yourself with the model agent tools and the model coupling in the CyberWater. So the next, I will just show you after you build the model agent for the wake model. So you say you first use the main generator, and then you use the error parameter generator to configure all the parameters. Use the Forsen data generator to do the configuration for all the Forsen data files, and the initial state generator for the initial states, and then you configure your routing module. You connect them in this way, and you always connect it in this way. And those five, you say those five building blocks, that's the five tools. You connect them together in this way, and then that generate your wake agent. Okay, wake agent. So in the workflow, you don't say wake, you only say the agent. You only say your model actually will run in background, and in the foreground, and you only say your model agent. So model agent interact with the other module with in the workflow. Okay, and so that's it. After you do the coupling, so this is the five modules together generate your routing model agent. And now for the wake model agent, those five modules, you can group them together so that it becomes one module in your workflow display. That will be easier if you have more models integrated in your workflow. Okay, so that's the basic idea for the generic model agent tools and the topic that we are going to work on today. So any questions for me?